We're hitchhiking through one of the most feared corners of Russia, and today we're crossing into Chechnya. What's life really like inside one of Russia's most infamous republics? And how do they treat outsiders? We're crossing the entirety of Chechnya to find out. But first, we have to escape the high mountains of Dagestan.
В Чечню едем. Все, приятно познакомиться.
Очень приятно.
Удачи вам.
Обязательно? Не сейчас, но...
Когда вы все заканчиваете, мы поедем точно, посмотрим все.
Хорошо.
До свидания.
This is where we stayed yesterday on a building site. Slava, a Russian guy, actually from Novosibirsk, my neighbor, picked us up on the side of the road and brought us to Botlich and invited us to stay in a hotel that they're building with his family now since they moved to Botlich from Novosibirsk. So last night we spent in the only half-finished room. Cool experience. Now it's time to hit the road.
Look at these views. Insane.
Everywhere you look, it's just mountains.
The aim for today is to head up out of Botlich and into these mountains in front of us. Over the other side of these mountains is the neighbouring Russian Republic of Chechnya, a republic that many of us have heard of for all different reasons. In principle, Chechnya is not too far from us, but there's a bit of an issue. We don't really know if the road between them is working, if there's a border post. There used to be a border post between the two, we know that, and the border used to be closed because a lot of Chechen fundamentalists that were fighting against the Russian government in the 90s and the early 2000s were trying to harbour in the mountains of Dagestan over here. Nowadays the tensions between the two republics have subsided, but there's still no information as to how to get into Chechnya through these mountain passes and down the other side. Right now we're going to find a lift, head up towards the village of Andi, which is the last village here in Dagestan, and try and cross into Chechnya. So far, we've travelled the entirety of Dagestan, through mountain villages and high passes. And today, we're crossing into Chechnya and towards its capital Grozny, once the most destroyed city on earth, before heading to the mysterious Ingushetia, Russia's smallest republic, and onwards to our final destination of Vladivostok in the Republic of North Ossetia.
The problem we're facing here is not getting people to stop, but actually finding someone who's going the same direction as us. So far, no one seems to. But everyone is super friendly, very encouraging. Опа.
Здравствуйте. А вы в сторону Анди не поедете случайно? А до перекрестки вы поедете, да?
Спасибо
Можно
большое.
Спасибо.
Да нормально все. Все в порядке. Чтобы на нас не упал. Да, все хорошо. Спасибо большое.
Спасибо вам огромное.
Есть хоть где были?
Да.
Все хорошо. Спасибо. Okay. Making progress. That's good. So we've been dropped here. We're kind of on the way to Andi now. Right at crossroads here, so logically anyone who goes this way should be going to Andi or to Chechnya. Let's see.
The mountains of the high Caucasus. So over the ridge there, in front of us, is Azerbaijan somewhere, about 50 kilometers that way. Over there is the country of Georgia, and this way is back into Russia, but first Chechnya. So gorgeous, isn't it?
So quiet.
Where we just were down in Botlik, it's actually market day today. And with Botlik being the center of this part of Dagestan, a lot of people from the smaller villages head to Botlik to do trading, to buy their goods, and then in the afternoon they head back to their villages. So the fact that now it's 10:30 means probably people are all going that direction towards Botlik and not the other way. Hopefully we catch one or two cars. We'll see.
Yeah, I've seen a few going the other direction.
Yeah, I like this, for example.
And none.
None going our way.
No.
If that trend continues, we'll be here till about 3 in the afternoon. At least we're under shade. We got water. And we got this view. Not the end of the world.
Nah. Can always get worse.
We've been hitchhiking our way across Dagestan and now into Chechnya, and this entire journey has actually been captured on a brand new camera that we're testing out at the moment, which is the Insta Ace Pro 2. This little thing shoots in 8K, and the sensor is a 1/1.3 inch 8K sensor that's been co-engineered with Leica, and honestly the footage has been amazing so far. The camera handles 4K 60, 4K 120 for those super silky slow-mo shots, and also 8K 30. And because of that 8K sensor, it's got this clarity zoom, which means you can tap twice on the screen and zoom in without losing any detail. It even holds up in low light. For us, this is the most incredible thing. We've been using action cams for a few years now, and they always struggle as the sun starts to go down. But with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, we've been using the pure video mode, and it's been super clean. No noise, no muddy shadows, and honestly, it may even work better in low light than our DSLR.
Здравствуйте.
Вы куда едете? Это в сторону Анды. Можете нас подвезти? Спасибо большое.
Спасибо большое, сейчас подождем. I'll get on the other side. Ага.
Спасибо большое.
А ну что там? Я-то думал, вы казной.
А в Анды мы хотели в сторону Анды, а потом дальше в Чечню.
Ага, я в сторону Чечни.
О, да? Можно с вами? Спасибо большое. А вы
Спасибо
сами?
огромное.
Чечня, ну я до Родника еду, оттуда уже Чечня и Казна.
Ну,
Отлично,
хорошо.
спасибо вам
Спасибо
огромное.
большое. А вы сами откуда?
Я с Ботлих.
А с Ботлих?
Сетовс.
Понятно.
Как вас зовут?
Багадур.
Багадур.
Да,
Очень приятно, Матвей.
Я Юля. Приятно познакомиться.
очень приятно.
А у вас как?
Вас как зовут?
Его Сулейман.
Синема.
We get asked all the time what we do for audio, and today there's no external mic, just the internal mic of the Ace Pro 2, which has held up really well. The voice enhancement mode has been unreal for those really, really loud spots.
Если вы хотите где-то что-то фоткать, остановить, вы скажите, хорошо?
Спасибо
Ну,
большое.
там наверху есть места, где
Спасибо огромное.
Спасибо большое.
стоит фотографировать. Уже приехали посмотреть, да, все.
Спасибо.
А
Спасибо.
вы сами откуда?
Я из Кемерово.
Я англичанин. Я из Англии. Но мы муж и жена.
Как там в Англии живет?
А мы там не живем, мы в Бишкеке живем. Да?
Another feature we've been really impressed by is the flip screen. I can see myself perfectly right now. We've been used to on action cams having to use the tiny screen on the side, or not having one at all and just guessing that we're in the shot. But here, even in the bright sunlight, there's no more guessing. I can see I'm central. Plus, as if that wasn't enough, it's also waterproof, shock resistant, and charges super fast. The other day we nipped into a cafe and we had 0% battery and we charged it up to 80% in just 20 minutes. Insane. From the winding roads of Dagestan to the mountains of Chechnya, this camera has kept up with every wild moment thus far. And if you're looking for a powerful, rugged, do-it-all camera, then the Insta Ace Pro 2 may just be worth checking out. We've dropped a link in the description box below if you want to check it out. It really helps our channel, and honestly we've been really impressed with this camera thus far. It's perfect for the way we love to travel and film, quick and on the go, and it could be the one that we take with us from now on every trip. Back to the road. Up until a couple of years ago, this road was still gravel all the way through the mountains. To get from here across Dagestan towards Mahachkala would have taken an entire day. And now that they've redone all the roads, it's about 5 hours if you were to go direct. But before, all these windy little roads through the mountains would have all just been gravel roads with sheer drops on each side. Crazy, only a couple of years ago. Это получается Анди?
Да, вот это село Анди, там уже дальше Дагатли.
Угу. Вот это Дагатли. Понятно.
I didn't expect the roads to be that good.
We
It's
said
gonna
up
be
until a
bad.
couple of years ago, they were like this. That's crazy. Look at this. This is the proper high Caucasus. Just below us down here is the village of Andi, which is the last village here in Dagestan. Above that is Gagatli. And in this direction is already, somewhere over there, Chechnya.
Come and have a look at this. Look at this. Perfectly round.
Both Dagestan and Chechnya are some of the most fascinating places here in Europe. We're in the far southeastern corner of Europe right now, as we mentioned in the last video, and they're both Islamic republics. Not far from us to the north of these republics is Kalmykia, which is Europe's only Buddhist region. And each one of these villages has, you can see Andi below us, with a small population, but there's 3 or 4 mosques it seems. You can definitely see 3. There's a school down there, a little regional hospital. And yeah, every village to a certain extent is almost self-sufficient. Amazing, right up here in the mountains. And imagine in the winter as well. Now they've put concrete, asphalt on the roads. It's probably a lot easier, but before they were probably completely shut off up here. I mean, imagine living down there in one of these houses and having that view every day. Insane, right?
You know what's interesting is that a lot of the people, when they hear Russia, they think of people that look like me, like Orthodox Christians. However, it's Russian Federation. It's kind of like America. America's got states. Russia's kind of the same. We have loads of different people living inside Russia, loads of different ethnicities and nationalities. It's fascinating.
Удачи вам, берегите себя.
Приятно познакомиться. Удачи с пальцем.
When we stopped at the top of the mountain pass, our man went inside the boot, reached in to grab something, put his finger straight through a fishing hook, and I mean all the way through, like it was hooked right on. I mean it still is. So he drove another 20 minutes with it in his finger, couldn't get it out, and thankfully today in Russia is medical day, doctor's day or whatever it is. So here at the lake, Здравствуйте, ребята, привет.
Salam alaikum.
Here at the lake, there's an ambulance, so he's going to get some help. He's going to get it out. And this is a lake. I don't know the name. What is the lake? The lake on the border of Dagestan and Chechnya. So this side is Dagestan, where we are now, and over there is Chechnya. It's Sunday today. I'm down in Grozny and also in the coasts of Dagestan. It's like 40 degrees at the moment. and up here it's probably 25. And there's families everywhere in these sheds having barbecues, eating fresh veg and meat, and yeah, all sitting together enjoying the cooler weather. I guess most of the number plates actually are Chechen, aren't they? Funny
Over
enough.
here, yeah.
Even though we're still in Dagestan on this side of the lake, most of the number plates are Chechen. Yeah, come up here for a quiet afternoon in the sun.
Oh wow.
Hello again.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Это что такое?
Чудо! It's our national cuisine.
Oh wow.
You should try, please.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course. It's offered
Thank
for
you
free.
so much. Where are you English teacher? In Andy?
In Makhachkala.
In Makhachkala?
We live there, but
Yeah.
for the summertime we are here. Yeah,
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. How many years have you been a teacher?
yeah. I'm like 12 years.
12 years.
But I practiced just a few years, last few years.
And where did you learn English? In university?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
university. Yeah, the university. Try because it's tasty just when it's hot.
Thank you so much.
Спасибо большое. You cannot get hungry in the Caucasus.
Never. Now we've got to the border with Dagestan and Chechnya. I have to say, people are incredibly friendly everywhere, but in terms of hospitality and picking you up on the side of the road when we're just waving our arm, there's nowhere like Dagestan. Nowhere like Dagestan. Such lovely people. So to get back up to the top, we thought we had to walk. We were going to walk up the road that we came down. As we walked past, we saw our man. He's just had his operation on his finger, and he's insisting on dropping us back to the main road. Bless him. Too nice. We were saying, no, go. Спасибо вам огромное.
Вперед, один назад.
Ага, хорошо. Ничего не болит?
Не.
Они какой-то укол поставили, да? Ничего такого.
Ничего такого, просто реализация.
Спасибо
Удачи.
большое.
счастливо.
Спасибо.
Еще увидимся.
Еще
наверное.
увидимся.
Еще увидимся.
До свидания.
Еще увидимся.
Все, до свидания.
Ого.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
А вы наверх поедете, да? Да. Можете нам докинуть?
Спасибо большое.
большое. Как вас зовут?
Меня?
Да.
Айсман.
Айсвар.
Айсмар. Матвей.
Я Юля.
Мама немка у меня,
Да.
а отец чеченец.
Они там познакомились в Средней Азии, да?
Там, в Казахстане.
После
Да,
депортации?
я там 4 класса закончил.
Мгм.
И со мной учились там немцы, поляки. Немцы были приволжские, с Поволжья.
О, интересно, да. Там тоже присылали туда, да? Под Сталину, да?
Да.
Мгм.
Когда я сюда в 67 году с отцом приехал,
Мгм.
я знал немецкий, чеченский, казахский, русский.
Ага.
И, ну да, как тебе сказать, я плохо разговаривал, по-польски тоже чуть-чуть.
Ого.
Ну, матерщину знал, матерщину.
Ну это мы все сейчас знаем, да. Много чеченцев туда прислали, да, в Казахстане
Они там-
после Второй мировой.
Там много умерло.
Да.
У меня 2 сестры там умерли. Там похоронили.
Принимайте наши соболезнования, конечно. Да, мы в сторону Грозного поедем, да.
Ну я же тоже туда еду.
Если вы не против,
Я зачем против?
тогда мы с вами поедем.
Давайте.
Я в Грозно заезжать не буду, но оттуда вам это рукой подать там.
Спасибо вам большое.
И там стоять там.
Не, ну это понятно.
Хорошо. А так в сторону отошел, раз снял, покурил.
Мы сейчас проехали уже границу между Дагестаном и Чечней или нет?
Нет, не проехали. Мы сейчас прям
Сейчас.
по границе едем.
Сейчас по границе едем, да?
Да, левая сторона Чечня, правая Дагестан. Не видели?
Да.
Да.
Вот это старая башня.
У каждого рода раньше была своя башня.
Обязательно. Где мой род жил, у нас 6 башен. Одна башня свет, а там принимают. Получили, ночью слышно хорошо. Или рано утром. Тот кричит, да, я принял. Это мискерет.
We made it to Chechnya. We just crossed over the border. There was a small check, but it was all smooth. And now we're in a different Russian Republic. We're heading towards Grozny, down through the mountains. We're getting lower and lower and the temperature's getting hotter and hotter. With our main man here, he loves a chat. He's the best hitchhike driver we've had thus far, companion we've had thus far.
Но этот парень, надо отдать ему должное. Он много денег потратил, чтобы восстановить.
Кадыров, что ли?
Совсем другой город сейчас. Я его помню,
конечно.
студенческие годы, когда я учился, я же в Владикавказе учился, домой ехал через Грозный. Это советские времена, я и тот период хорошо помню. Там армяне, евреи, азербайджанцы, чечены, ингуши, русские. Все национальности там жили.
А сейчас в основном чеченцы, да?
Да, сейчас. Я же обманывать не стал, я говорю, Света, я не могу. Хлеб вообще мало дают. Хлеб.
Something we haven't touched on thus far is on the sides of the road here you see signs in Russian that are written Allah Akbar and different sayings like that in Arabic words, but written in the Russian script, in the Cyrillic script. It's fascinating because when people think about Russia and the Russian language, they associate it with Russia, with Moscow, St. Petersburg, with Christian Russia, as Julia said earlier in this video. But, the Russian language is spoken as a first language by tens of millions of Muslims as well in Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, etc. It's used as a lingua franca throughout Central Asia, as well as here in Dagestan, Chechnya, Dagestan. It's as much a language of many Muslim peoples as it is as Orthodox Christian peoples. Really, really fascinating. And I think a lot of people from the outside, when they think of Russia and the Russian language, they don't think of this part of the world. And it's often associated just with, Belarus, Russia, Eastern Europe.
Удачи тебе, Матвей.
Спасибо большое. Сейчас я номер ваш сохранил. Я вам позвоню, и вы можете наши сохранить. Ладно?
Хорошо.
Все есть.
Домой доберешься, с дома тоже звони.
Хорошо.
Я всегда буду рад.
Хорошо. Спасибо вам огромное.
До свидания.
Удачи вам.
Хорошей дороги. So we're about 15 kilometers away from Grozny, the capital of Chechnya. We tried to order a cab because the heat is just too much and we're quite exhausted at this point. We waited for an hour. No one wants to pick us up, so back on the road we are. Gonna try and catch a lift on the way, I suppose. No other choice. большое.
Спасибо вам огромное. Как вас зовут? Очень приятно, Матвей.
Юля, приятно познакомиться. Приятно познакомиться. Да.
Да, классно, да. Мы уже второй раз здесь. Мы с горах спустились. Так, сейчас последний час до города надо добраться. Все.
А куда надо вам до города?
В горе?
А сейчас не знаю, сейчас посмотрим. Я из Кемерово.
Я англичанин.
Англичанин?
Да, да.
До свидания. I found a guest house on the way. Let's walk in and see if they have a room for us to stay tonight. Where do I knock?
Вы нас были или где-то нас нашли?
Первый раз
Нашли, да.
Нашли? В Яндексе?
Просто сейчас в Дагестане спустились. Сейчас доехали до Грозного, и нужно где-то переночевать.
Холодно, жарко.
Жарко.
Давайте сюда. Проходите, проходите.
Спасибо.
Look what we've got. Luxury.
This is what $30 gets you in here in Grozny.
We have aircon.
Satellite TV. We've got a balcony, by the way. You didn't see.
We have balcony.
We do.
Oh wow. Did not expect this.
Just over there is the centre. Let's see. And that building that looks like a mosque there with the minaret. I'm pretty sure that's the station.
Oh yeah, we just drove past it.
Yeah, I think the minaret's the station.
Let's get back in. It's hideous outside. Check out the toilet. Wonderful. My god, got shower gels and shampoos. This is proper luxury, I tell you. Let's hop in the shower right away. It's been sweaty. What can I tell you?
It's a good thing that you can't smell from the camera, right?
Speak for yourself, hey?
I am speaking for myself. I don't even need to do that, to be honest. Oh, our adventure. We made it. We hitchhiked the whole way.
We did.
Welcome to Grozny, the capital of the Republic of Chechnya. This is a city that's been known in recent times for some of the darkest moments in modern Russian history, but it's also a city and a republic that's changing a lot, that's had a lot of inward investment from the main Russian government, and especially in infrastructure and building work in the capital Grozny. You see a lot of changes here. We were here only 3 years ago, and actually the city's very, very different. Right in front of us, you can see a sign of that. There's building work all over Russia at the moment, but it does seem that here in Grozny, things are going at a different speed. We're only here for one night, and tomorrow we're heading to another republic, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, I think, in Russia, Ingushetia. But for now, we're going to head into the center of Grozny, have a walk around, and see how it's changed over the past few years.
This is definitely the republic that has the most autonomy here in Russia, and certain things work quite differently to the rest of the country. Like, for example, you know the taxi app Yandex that works all over Russia and even some post-Soviet Union countries. Here it doesn't work. Also, last time we were here, I think it was 2021, we were able to stay in an apartment. And we were just told that local authorities stopped allowing people renting out their apartments, like one-night stays. Apparently safety reasons. It's quite interesting to see that even over the last, 4 years, a lot of things changed, and they seem to change here all the time. We said it a lot to each other that in Dagestan, you feel like you're in the Caucasus. And here, somehow it's more of a Central Asian vibe, or even Middle Eastern.
You know, another thing that's fascinating when you compare Dagestan and Chechnya is there's a big infrastructure difference, and also the houses are very different. You know, when we crossed down from the mountains and crossed into Chechnya, there's straight away a difference in the roads themselves, the houses, the people, the way they dress. And overall, there seems to be a lot more wealth here in Chechnya, not just Grozny. The houses are on a bigger scale, the cars are a lot more modern. And yeah, Grozny itself, getting back to the city, is having a lot of development, it seems, here in the centre especially, but also as we are driving into the city, you know, there's new highways going in. Yeah, very different to its neighbouring republic in so many ways.
Yeah, it's so interesting because as soon as we crossed, earlier on today, you could just smell the money straight away. It was like instant change.
Yeah.
Also, it's quite unbelievable that not so long ago, Grozny was known as the most destroyed city in the world. And look at it now.
We weren't going to say any more today, but look at this. All along here, we just walked to the edge of one of the main streets in the city. All of these buildings, as far as the eye can see, are all new buildings being built up. Seems like the entirety of Grozny is being doubled, tripled in size, like all the way as far as the eye can see. We were saying how dusty it is, and that's obviously because the whole thing is a building site. Доброе утро.
Уезжаете?
Да, уезжаем.
Ладно, счастливо вам. Было очень приятно. Мне
У нас тоже очень приятно было.
Ну, счастливо вам, ребята.
Спасибо
Я надеюсь,
большое.
вы еще приедете.
Обязательно, обязательно увидимся.
Все хорошо.
Счастливо.
Как вас зовут?
Казбек.
Приятно
По паспорту
познакомиться.
Мансур,
Ага,
а так Казбек.
Казбек.
Да. Это английский замок называется. Знаете?
Английский замок, да?
Да.
А как здесь жизнь сейчас?
А?
Везде строят как будто, да, в Грозном?
Да, тут все строят, везде, в села даже строят.
Да.
Да.
We're heading to the smallest and youngest republic here in Russia. And actually, this republic has the smallest ethnically Russian population as well.
А чеченцы и ингуши, они же один народ? Или они отличаются?
Отличаются. Языком даже чуть-чуть отличается.
Да.
Да.
Вы друг друга поймете, да?
Ну, а так мы друг друга понимаем.
Мгм.
И по-братски живем.
Ага.
Есть люди спорные, бывают варианты.
Ну, как и везде.
Когда я вот в Ингушетии, я как дома.
Ага.
Вообще проблем нет.
Мгм. Спасибо, до свидания.
Another day, another republic.
Пойдемте.
Welcome to Nazan, the biggest city here in the smallest republic in Russia, the Republic of Ingushetia. This republic, when you look at it on a map, is really long and thin. And after crossing from Chechnya into Ingushetia, it took us another, I think, 20 kilometers to get here to Nazan. And we're also already very close to the Republic of North Ossetia next door. We're heading to a certain spot here in Nazan that we wanted to see, but just walking through this main street is fascinating to see the stark difference between here and neighboring Chechnya and Grozny. In Soviet times, Ingushetia and Chechnya used to be one republic, and then after the fall of the USSR in 1992, with tensions rising, especially with Chechnya, the Ingush, who are related to the Chechens, they speak a similar language, asked to be separated into their own republic. So now you have the two republics of Chechnya and Ingushetia. And yeah, the difference between the two of these places is stark. It feels like if yesterday we said we were in the Middle East, here we've been transported back into the Caucasus for sure.
It's actually interesting that every republic has its own vibe.
Yeah,
They'll have very different feel to them.
the distances are so small as well, right? Спасибо огромное. Очень жарко на улице.
Короче, вот он свежий.
Спасибо.
Ну, женщина, вот сама же уберешь вот это вот. Конечно. Все, вот чай можете вылить, вот сахар. Вот.
Спасибо большое.
Как вас зовут?
Адам.
Адам, Матвей. Очень приятно.
Как?
Матвей.
Матвей.
Юля, очень приятно.
Спасибо вам огромное.
Все, будьте как дома.
I can't get over how friendly people are here.
It's always a good idea to drink tea when it's plus 100 outside. Well, apparently that's what they say. You're supposed to drink tea if you're too cold.
I do.
So Adam just saw us walking around along the street, sweating our asses off, and invited us in to have a cup of tea.
Just amazing. Here in the Caucasus, a guest is supposed to be, is thought of as a gift from God. I don't know if you're a gift from God, but the treatment's incredible. Honestly, people see you walking on the street, and you could see that we were in a bit of a state, suffering. And he was like, guys, do you want to have a cup of tea? Come in. Love him. Long live the Caucasus.
Все вы.
Спасибо, Адам.
В любое время заходите. Чай
Спасибо.
попить, отдохнуть, там хоть переночевать без разницы.
Спасибо огромное.
Очень приятно познакомиться.
Все, давай.
Удачи вам.
Хорошо.
До свидания, счастливо. After World War II, tens of thousands of native peoples from here in the North Caucasus were banished by Stalin to Central Asia on a suspicion that they'd been working alongside the German army. He sent scores of families, men, women and children, across into the deserts, the hot deserts of Central Asia, from here in their mountain homes. Later, under the leadership of Nikita Khrushchev, they were allowed to return to their homeland here in the North Caucasus. But at that point, a lot of the damage had been done. Many people had lost their lives, and the scars from that deportation are stuck with people to this day. Throughout this journey, we've spoken to a lot of people from all over Dagestan, Chechnya and Ingushetia whose families have been affected by this. And at the moment we're standing in a memorial on the edge of Nazan, looking out over the Caucasus Mountains in front of us. This memorial has been dedicated to those people that were victims of the Stalinist repressions and deported to Central Asia. In front of us right here are the mountains of Ingushetia, and that was where we were supposed to be heading next. However, as you can see, it's incredibly windy and the rain has just been coming down, and that's the start of 2 days worth of rain. We saw on the news a couple of days ago that in Moscow there's been a massive storm, and it turns out that storm has headed south towards the Caucasus. So that's scuppered our plans to head up through the mountains of Ingushetia and then down to Vladikavkaz. The good thing is, as we always say, that gives us an excuse to come back to a region, and those mountains are fascinating. We're standing by a tower at the moment. A tower that if you've been to other parts of the Caucasus, maybe Georgia, you'd have seen before. And these towers were built in defense of the little mountain villages and settlements all over the Caucasus. And it turns out that every family here in Ingushetia actually has their own tower. Families used to live inside these towers, and from the top level they would watch out and defend their clan from enemy invaders. And yeah, the idea was we were going to go up into those mountains and see a few of those towers, but we're going to have to leave that for another time. And for now, we'll take one last look at the Caucasus Mountains from here.
Do you reckon it's a bad idea to do it?
I don't think we're going to see anything, even if we don't get flooded. Welcome to the city of Vladikavkaz, the capital of North Ossetia. Vladikavkaz actually means Vladelets Kavkaza, the owner, the ruler of the Caucasus, and this town was founded by the Russian Tsars as part of their conquest of the North Caucasus. And somewhere there, shrouded in cloud, is Mount Kazbek, one of the tallest peaks in the entirety of the Caucasus at over 5,000 meters. These days, the border with Georgia is also somewhere there, and North Ossetia is actually a Christian republic, which means we've made it through the three Muslim republics of Dagestan, Chechnya and Ingushetia, and with that, to the end of our journey.